Hey guys, I just want to give you a review of the Softbank Aquos Phone 106SH. First, let's just take a quick look around the outside. Front, it's got a fairly decent 4.7-inch display. Right now, I have it set to minimum brightness, and I find that its minimum is pretty good. It doesn't really drain the battery, and it's bright enough. Let's see, around the sides. This side, there's absolutely nothing. You can see it's got like, I don't know, it doesn't really look all that good. Or all that high quality. It's kind of like just a cheap plasticky chrome thing around the edge. Then around the top here you got your headphone jack. Thankfully it doesn't have a port, or sorry, a cover. I'm not a big fan of those, even though they do help with the waterproofing, but this phone is spec'd for waterproofing as well. Around this side we have both buttons, the power button and the volume up and volume down. I can't say I'm a big fan of these buttons. They're actually a little small, and they don't give good feedback like the buttons on my old Galaxy Nexus do. Then around the bottom, we have the micro USB, which I'm charging right now because the phone was almost dead when I started filming. I think it had about 9% battery left. On the front here is the speaker. I don't know if you can see it there. Right beside, this is the front-facing camera, and then right here, there's a small spot for notification LED, and then the sensors for brightness and what have you. Around the back, we have the 12 megapixel camera, microphone, LED, infrared, speaker, and then down here is the NFC for the Osaifu Keitai, or whatever you want to call it. And I think that's it for the tour around the device. Just a couple of more notes about the design of the device. I don't know, the back is kind of like a shiny plastic. Maybe it's similar to what the Galaxy S3 has. I feel that this phone is a little bit on the slippery side. I haven't dropped it yet, but I felt that my Nexus had a much better grip on it. It was much easier to hold. Unlike the Nexus, this device is top heavy. So if you're reading lying down like I like to do at night, and you loosen your grip, it could fall on your face. Actually, the first time I used it like that, I almost dropped out on my face. But the Nexus is bottom heavy, so I never had that problem with it. Alright, I'm going to talk about the display really quick. The colors on it are pretty good. As you can see from the picture on the lock screen here, it looks pretty nice. Videos look great. One thing I did notice about the display is that it doesn't seem to be as fingerprint repellent as the Galaxy Nexus display was. As you can see, I had just before I started filming, I wiped it clean back to like showroom condition. But as you can see, there's already tons of smudges and fingerprints on it. The Galaxy Nexus doesn't seem to keep the fingerprints on like this phone or my iPad, which is pretty bad for fingerprints. No matter how much I wipe the iPad, I can't get it back to new. But this one, fortunately, if you can get it back to new if you put a bit of elbow grease in it. But the iPad has no such luck with that. The Nexus screen stays fingerprint free most of the time. Text and kanji look pretty sharp. Let me see if I have anything. If you can see that there, I don't know if the camera is good enough to pick up the all the slight nuances of the kanji and text there, but it looks pretty good. It's easy to read. Let me see if I can bring up a video here. I'm not sure where I have them. Video player. Here we go. And it's a 1080p version. And let's go to start over. I don't know if you can see, it has kind of like a black border around that. I'm not really a big fan of that. I was hoping it would be kind of like more edge to edge, but I guess you can't win them all. But the display looks great. The display has several modes, like you can change between, like, I think it's like dynamic, natural, and a few others. And I'll go into more detail later when I go through the settings menu. But I think that's all I have to say about the display. Okay, the Feel UX. I think most of you might have heard about this Feel UX thing via like Engadget or The Verge. I think they reported on it. Um, Feel UX is basically just a launcher and a lock screen. Of course, the rest of the operating system is slightly skinned. So in some parts, it feels like Hollow has disappeared, although it really hasn't. And soft gray seems to be quite prevalent throughout the Feel UX experience. It certainly is a different experience. It's not a bad experience per se. There are some weird things that left me wondering about what they were thinking. But overall, I do enjoy it. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it permanently though. We'll see. Well, I guess only time will tell. Basically, Feel UX is split into 4 parts. The first 3 parts are the tabs here on top. It's like the apps, widgets, and shortcuts. And the 4th part is the bottom bar here. When you are in the launcher, these icons don't change, and then when you launch an app, they change into a back home menu, and the task switcher stays the same. The launcher did have a few problems when I first started using the phone and fiddling around with it. The launcher seemed to have sprung a memory leak or something, and the garbage collection or the app task killing in the background got extremely aggressive, and it got so bad that when I opened Music Player and it started playing music, and then I pressed home to go back to the launcher, it killed the music player. But it must have been an isolated incident. It only happened once. I restarted the phone and it went away, and it really hasn't happened again. But if this really isn't your cup of tea, you can actually enable the like a regular stock launcher via the settings. Let me see if I can find the setting here. See, home applications, and then if you set it to SH Home, it'll enable the like a regular launcher. I think it's a launcher similar, if not the same launcher as the one on the Softbank 104 SH, I believe it is. So you have a bit of choice, or even if you don't like the SH Home one, just go to the Play Store and grab Apex or Nova, and you're good to go. Alright, let's talk about the tabs really quick. The apps tab up here that I have it set right now is basically just like the app drawer of another launcher, except of other launchers, except you can actually make folders and organize them like this. You can create separators and whatnot. I really don't understand the need for having both apps and shortcuts if you can already organize them this well right in the app drawer. For example, if I go to the shortcuts, it's essentially the same thing, except just not as much stuff. You can add other things like contacts and whatnot, but there are some design or just some drawbacks here. Some questionable design. For example, when you add a shortcut, let's see, shortcut application. You can just choose an application, you tap it, and it appears. You drag it wherever you want, but you cannot like tap and hold an application and drag it to the shortcuts area like you can on other launchers. So you basically have to do it one by one, long pressing, going to shortcut, and then adding it. And to make matters worse, like here I have several folders. These folders cannot be added directly to the shortcuts screen. You have to, as I said before, just put each one by one and then create the folders, and it's really time consuming and tedious. I really didn't like that about the launcher. The middle tab is the widgets tab. It just has it's just all the widgets in one place. You just scroll down to view all your widgets. Comes with the basic ones: calendar, weather. This is the power management one. It comes with notes and a few others, but having the widgets out of the way is kind of nice. So I think I kind of prefer, at least for the widgets part, having this nice widgets tab. It just keeps everything out of the way. The launcher itself doesn't have that many settings. So I can swipe down and let's go to home settings, I believe it is. Here we go. As you can see, there's really not much to configure. You can change the layout from like the icons 4x5 or 3x4. You can set scrolling. Smooth scrolling is basically just regular scrolling where you just scroll non-stop. It'll stop at the top and bottom. And there's stop at separator, which, as I guess the title implies, every time you see a separator and you scroll to it, it'll kind of snap to the separator. I kind of prefer that, as if you have too many apps and you just scroll, it scrolls so fast and smooth that I don't know, maybe you'll get motion sickness or something. Theme-wise, it's not really that customizable. Basically, what you see here is the only thing you can use. It has a few color themes and picture wallpapers, but you cannot set a custom wallpaper or custom color. So if you don't like the colors or wallpapers that you see here, you are pretty much out of luck. I think most of you are pretty interested in the lock screen, so let's talk about that next. I think maybe you saw when I swiped down here, there was a little lock here. The lock screen isn't referred to as a lock screen. They refer to it as the welcome sheet. So let's lock the device. There we go. So that's pretty much what it looks like. I think it looks great. It's a fantastic lock screen. Just the design is really nice. Oh, sorry. Turn that back on. These pictures here, there's 5 pages with different pictures. You can swipe through them, choose one you want, and change it whenever you want. The 5 pictures can be customized via the settings, but I find the stock pictures to be really cool. I really like this grass one, so I think I'll leave that one on. Let's see here. Yes, there it goes. If you pull this thing down, pull it up. You can get access to the camera, the phone, and the mail app. Nothing too super spectacular there. You unlock it by pulling it down, and it kind of like reveals. Down here, there are 3 widgets. There's the time, there is weather, and if you have it enabled, the stocks. And if you're listening to music, if you swipe left or right, you can get the music controls. Some strange behavior that I did notice from the lock screen is that if you notice here, the time isn't present in the top in the status bar. It's only present here in the lock screen. So, for example, if I fire up a music player and I set the music to play, then I lock it and unlock it, you can see that now that the music controls are here, I can't see the time anywhere. I think this is a pretty big oversight here. Sorry, the video's kind of blurry. Let's move the phone there. Sorry. So if you want to see the time, you have to swipe to the side, and then you lose the album art and title. So I think that's a pretty big oversight there. But if you can live with that, I guess you will enjoy the lock screen. You may have noticed I just showed you the lock screen for the music player. As you saw, I was using Power Amp, and it locked into the lock screen very nicely, so I think that was pretty cool. It also includes the Google Play Music app, which also works with the lock screen. But oddly enough, the music app, this one right here, that's included with a phone. I think it's made by Sharp or something. It does not work with the lock screen, which I find pretty weird. But anyway, the app is really bad anyway, so I don't think you'd want to use it. Alright, let's take a quick look at the camera app. The camera itself is decent. I can't say the pictures are spectacular. They're not super bad either, but they'll get the job done in a pinch. It's got a 12 megapixel camera. The phone